Ah yes, the beloved bench press. The only lift that really matters at the end of the day, and the lift that everybody's dad could do 315 pounds for 10 back in high school. Today, we're gonna be jumping into bench press variations. At Elite FTS, we get a million questions regarding, should I do this variation? Should I do that variation? And a lot of people are asking these questions, don't really know why these variations are in their program in the first place. So what I want to do is I want to go over a bunch of different bench press variations, utilizing all sorts of different styles of benching, and pretty much explain to you why you would put it in your program, what it's good for, and essentially how to do it. So guys, let's jump right into this thing with bench press variations. Variation number one is going to be the wide grip bench press. But before we go into that, I want you guys to check out this Iron Cowboy bar. This is one of the awesome bars that we have at Elite FTS, and we just launched our blemished Iron Cowboy bar and multi-bar and eventually power bar section on our website. So you can buy blemished bars for wicked friggin' cheap. That was my Rhode Island coming out, but I really get excited about this because this is something that we've been working on for a while, and now you guys can benefit from this as well. As you know, sometimes bars get beat up, whacked around, and they're not perfectly aesthetic, but they still function the same. But enough of my sales pitch, let's get into the wide grip bench press. Wide grip bench press is a fantastic way for you to work on pec hypertrophy. Increasing the width of your grip means you get a shorter range of motion. This may be more beneficial for people that want to work on increasing the weight on the bar, but they also want to increase the size of their chest. So let me demo right here. Wide grip doesn't have to be crazy wide, right? So whenever I say close grip or wide grip, it just means in relation to your normal competition grip. For me, wide grip is index finger or middle finger on the bar, on the ring, right? So I get here, lock it in, and with a wide grip bench press, you really want to focus in on bringing it all the way down. What you'll notice is on me, I'm a little tight, and I got to really make sure I get into that full range of motion. How I would program in a wide grip bench press for somebody, more of an off-season kind of a movement, right? So more hypertrophy focus, more trying to build some muscle. This is not the best tool in terms of pec hypertrophy. We have a video on that you can kind of go into in more depth, but it is a good variation for an off-season lift or somebody that's working to build up the size of their chest or their ability to press. All right, next variation is the paused bench press. Pauses can happen in multiple different places, and you'll see variations on this list that look like a pause press, but they're just paused in a specific spot. But for most people, you're gonna wanna pause just about at the chest, right? So let me demo here. Very simple, very straightforward. You can do these wide, you can do these close grip, you can do these competition grip, whatever you wanna do. But the purpose of a paused bench press is to work on your ability to maintain a position for a certain length of time. It can be a second or two, 3 seconds, whatever it is. The idea is you want to put yourself in a position where you're weak in order to be able to maintain that position over the course of time with increased weights. So with a paused bench, I'll take my competition grip here, bring it on out. All you do, lower the bar to wherever you're going to be pausing. For most people, pausing right at the chest is a good place to start, and then you drive that bar up. Very simple, very straightforward. On to variation number 3. All right, guys, next up, the good old-fashioned board press. If you've seen any Elite FTS videos, I'm sure you've seen one of these bad babies. This is a 2-board. Kind of heavy, kind of cumbersome, but a board press is a really good way to work on a particular range of motion on your bench. It reduces the range of motion so you can work on a very specific part of your press. Only downside here is someone has to hold it, unless you get really creative. I mean, I can lay here kind of and have this thing wobbling around as I press and almost knock my teeth out, or better idea, Jacob, you wanna hold that? There we go. Get yourself a cameraman to hold the bar, to hold the 2-board. Oh, that's better. But you're probably telling yourself, hey, I don't have a cameraman to hold my 2-board. If there was only a product that you could purchase to kind of do the same thing. Yes, product placement, but the idea is very simple. This is our shoulder saver pad, and it's meant to mimic a 2-board for benching, so you can do board presses or shoulder saver presses with only one person, without somebody, you don't have to tie the board around yourself, you don't have to have somebody else hold it. So it sticks on the bar, you're not gonna move this thing. And it's a great way to work on that 2-board position, but also with this position, it's a lot of triceps, it's a lot of lockout. So a shoulder saver press is not only good for working on a particular spot during your press, but it's also a really great way to overload that lockout and to work on your triceps and get those big meaty triceps that everybody's looking for. All right, as we know, leg drive in the bench is a really big component of having a big, strong bench. But at the end of the day, you still need to be able to press. This is where the feet up or the Larson press comes in. So the idea with this, you can have your feet extended out in front of you, or you can have your feet up on the bench like I'm gonna demo here. Feet up on the bench, grabbing your normal grip. And what this does, think about a floor press. It takes the legs out of the movement and adds a certain amount of instability into the movement. And it forces you to really work on just being able to build up that solid pressing strength that you need without your legs. So people that get into a really, really big arch and rely on that arch to bench a lot of weight, this is a great variation for you to work on your ability to just have that static pressing strength. So think about floor press with a full range of motion without any leg drive. So next variation, we'll jump right into it. Next up is the Spoto Press. This is gonna look a lot like a paused bench press, and it was named after Eric Spoto, one of the best bench presses of all time. What you're gonna be working on here is stopping the bar a couple inches off of your chest. So what you wanna really do is focus in on stopping that bar without it having to hit your chest, but also absorbing that force on the way down. So what you wanna do, you wanna focus in on bringing that bar out, lowering it, stopping it a couple inches above your chest, right? And then driving it back up. One of the biggest parts of this style of movement or this exercise is that you don't want to lower it super slow. The idea is you want to work on your ability to turn that bar around really, really quick, right? So you lower it normal speed, stop, build up that stopping power and that reversal strength at the bottom of the press, which is a big weakness for a lot of people in raw benching. So here we go, next one. All right, next up is the dead press or the pin press or whatever you want to call it. This is utilizing safeties on a bench, right? So a lot of these variations, you're working on very particular positions or situations. The dead press is taking all of your, I guess it would be called, what the fuck is it called? Brain fart. Da, na, 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 na. Stretch reflex. We're taking all the stretch reflex out of the press, right? So you're unracking, you're lowering it to the pins, but you're staying tight the whole time, right? You're taking out any of that bounce or that elastic energy that you'd have at the bottom of the press, forcing you to press from a dead stop. So very simple, set up safeties. If you have the handy dandy Elite FTS bench, you have safeties here, but you can set this up in a rack, you can set this up wherever. The idea is pretty simple. Arch, get into your normal position, lower it down to the pins, dead stop, maintain that tension, build up that force, drive that bar straight up. Josh Bryant from Jailhouse Strong was the person who told me about these and showed me these when I was working with him. And it is an awesome, awesome variation that's very, very humbling, but it works on a lot of awesome skills at the same time. Works on your ability to maintain position, works on your ability to maintain tension. It works on your overall brute strength at the bottom of your press, and honestly is one of the coolest lifts that you can do on the bench. So next variation coming up at you, here we go. Last but certainly not least, dumbbells, right? Dumbbells are a fantastic builder of your barbell bench press because they add a level of stability that you need to acquire. They force you into greater ranges of motion. And honestly, those people that can bench a lot of weight can usually bench a lot of dumbbell weight as well. Very simple as always. You can do these incline, you can do these decline, you can do these flat. Just make sure you put them in your programming somewhere. You can have phases where you're only using dumbbells. You can have phases where you're using them as a secondary lift, whatever you want to do. The idea is vary your training enough where you get the best response, right? So we want to get bigger, we want to get stronger. Use dumbbells. They're a great way to bench more weight. All right, guys, so there you have it. A whole bunch of different bench press variations that you can implement into your programming to get bigger and better benches, right? Get bigger, faster, stronger, do all the things. And always, when you're going for a heavy bench, make sure you grab your Elite FTS Dark Side smelling salts. Also, a little sneak peek for all you guys. Into the Void, another flavor that we got coming out. Grab your no, this is the Dark Side. I'm so scared right now. This is like a really terrifying experience. These aren't very fun. Grab your Dark Side smelling salts. Make sure you put them very, very close to your face, and do this for the internet. That fucking hit my brainstem. I'm crying now. I'm crying out of both eyes. Hey, listen. Listen. Fuck you, fairy elf. What is it? No, what the hell is she? Like Tinkerbell? What was that?
No,
that was
I don't remember her name.
Oh, fuck.
Doesn't
Listen.
Hey.
Hey, listen.
Like they only programmed one fucking voice into the whole game. And
Yeah.
it just happened to be those words. Okay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, what the shit? I don't know. Someone will comment on that, especially if we leave it in the video. Listen. All right, here we go. Serious.